Welcome to Heart Mindify. Before we start the show, just a reminder to share, rate, and subscribe to this podcast wherever you're listening to it. And please give us a 5-star rating. It helps us beat the big tech algorithms.
I'm John Izzy. Change can be difficult for a lot of us, but when we understand what makes us tick, we develop a better understanding of who we are and begin a journey of discovering our best self. Join me for a free session at johnizzy.com.
And I'm Kim Cordy, creator of the Emotion Chef Framework, an emotion management tool. Thoughts drive emotions, and emotions drive thoughts, but it's our emotions that drive our decisions and behaviors. Find out more at kimcordy.com.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Knowing each other personally and socially for the past 10 years, Kim and John have joined forces, bringing years of experience and training, providing a platform for growth and personal development, along with a little humor. John is the heart, Kim is the mind, and together they are Heart Mindify. Well, hello, Kim. It's Wednesday. How are you?
I'm good. Good. How are you?
You know, I'm doing okay. I'm trying to stay positive, surround myself with the people that make me happy, and try to get out of a funk that I feel like I've been in since, I don't know, maybe February. But no, actually, things are pretty good. I'm feeling good today, so that's good.
There's nothing wrong with saying, in fact, I admire you because admitting that there's a lot of junk going on. I was going through the laundry list with a friend of mine and I'm like, okay, so in the last less than 6 months, my husband's lost his job, but now he's got a new one. We've had COVID. My business has been very difficult, as we both have experienced.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And then 2 family members with emergency surgeries within a couple of months of each other, and in COVID, trying to deal with COVID. And my niece is autistic, so she's an adult, but she's like a small child. So that was a lot of wrangling. And it's like, what else? And the fire too. We're still dealing with smoke. And I think, but all in all, still, when I look at all the things that make me funky, I'm with you. There's a lot that still makes me really happy, like my puppies, my husband. My husband's like 50-50, but my puppies are like 90%, 95%. Right?
I love it, right?
Yeah.
They don't talk back. And every time you leave, and you walk in the door, it's like a brand new day. I seen you again. And they get all excited, and I love it.
I know. And their faces. Oh my God.
I know.
Love their faces. And then I've been curbing my news watching. That helps.
Me too.
Totally stay away from social media, which I thought I was doing with LinkedIn because I'm in LinkedIn all the time. And then it now LinkedIn's turning into one of those political bashing sites. It kills me.
Well, you're right. And I think, it's a cry for people to be heard. It's a cry for people to find significance, and it's hitting everywhere. It's hitting, like you said, now LinkedIn. Usually you find it on Facebook or Twitter, but now you're seeing it on LinkedIn, and you're seeing it in other places where you think you wouldn't. It's like we can't get away from it, and the only way to do it is to turn your life off to social media and the news.
Right. And LinkedIn is where I'm trying to market, so I can't really turn it off.
It's tough.
There was one, I stay away from it. I don't comment on anything that's of a political nature. But there was one yesterday, which is why we're talking about what we're talking about today. And it said, Michelle Obama sitting in her $12 million mansion with her $60 million book deal and Netflix deal estimated to be worth between 150 and 300 million is feeling depressed. If that's not privileged, I'm not sure what is.
Well, I'm sorry. Michelle Obama is allowed to feel depressed if she feels depressed. And look, I don't know Michelle Obama like I don't know the neighbor across town. But if Michelle Obama is feeling depressed for whatever reason, then you know what? She has the right to feel depressed. And it just goes to show you that $300 million book deal does not equate to how you feel emotionally.
Yeah,
At
there's a
least that's
couple
how I
things.
feel.
Well, I agree. And for me, there's a couple of things going on here. One, as you aptly noted, that money and well-being are completely separate. I when I responded, I said that it's a big assumption to conclude that money equals happiness. Depressed as an emotion is used in a wide range of circumstances. Hers, according to the news, is brought on by concern and empathy for others. What's going on in our country and the world makes Michelle Obama feel a heaviness. I have the same feeling of heaviness because of the uncertainty that lies before us. This isn't a political statement. That is a human statement. If you step back and take off every label you have for her, you could see her as a person who cares enough about others to keep her awake at night. We are in danger now more than ever of losing our humanity to politics and outdated caste systems. It's time for all of us to step it up, and it starts by refraining from sharing posts like these.
I can't agree with you more. You're 100% right on topic. What a great response.
Well,
And
thanks.
you're right. Yeah, no, but you're right, though. If you remove all the labels, and we just talked about this a couple of weeks ago, if you remove all the labels that we put on Michelle Obama, take them all away, she's just a human, just like you and I. And with that, she's going to have feelings and thoughts and needs and wants that she's trying to fulfill. Money is one of those areas, but that has nothing to do with the fact that she is staying up late at night or waking up in the middle of the night because she is worried about the country, or she is worried about the way that President Obama is being viewed in the political spectrum right now. And she is concerned about the future of her daughters, and she is concerned about the future of the country. And are we taking a step back with, I mean, my gosh, we could go down the list of things. Her being a public figure like she was, and of course that carries over to today, that's huge and weighted heavily on a person. So, look at the way a president ages in 4 years in the White House,
It's so true. Oh my
right?
goodness, that is
I mean, the
so
amount of
true.
stress that they go through, is just, it's insane. So, they have to find a way to deal with those issues just like everyone has to find a way to deal with them. I think my dad used to always say, money helps, but it's not the answer. Right? Money can get us out of our immediate need for worry about not having bills to be paid or not having the ability to have food on the table for today's meal. Money can help solve those issues. But when you look at the larger spectrum of it, it's our emotional stability is just so separate from our financial stability. It just is.
There was I guess, a paper that was written by Daniel Kahneman. He wrote, he's amazing, but he wrote that famous book, Thinking Fast and Slow. Really brilliant
Yes.
man. And I learned of this paper, research paper, from my science of wellness class. It basically says that your your wellness, your well-being depends a lot on money up to a certain point. Like if you don't have it, you feel a lot happier when you are at going from a poverty level up to getting all of your needs met. And that increases your well-being tremendously. Because why? You're getting your needs met, you're getting health care, you're eating better. You don't get, look, what is the cheapest food? The most unhealthy food.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy, right? Like the ground grows it, but the things that cost the least are chemicals and fat and additives. I digress. But once you are able to meet your needs for sustenance, then anything above that, your well-being isn't greatly enhanced. And it makes a lot of sense. And yet in that chain of comments from that post, there were people who were saying, "Oh, well, all these people just want power and money. That's all they want is power and money." Like, no, they just want to have a decent life, be able to come home and not have to worry, or to be able to buy a car, get their kid a computer because that's what they need for in-home learning. I mean, imagine how greatly enhanced your well-being is. So from that standpoint, this is why it's easy to say, yeah, look at all she has, but it doesn't equate. And I thought I just wanted to throw in that article because it was just so on point.
Yeah, no, I like it. But there's something I want to go back to, something you said that kind of made me think of a story. And I wanted to throw this out there because it was an extremely emotional experience for me after the event took place. So I was a friar for 10 plus years. And one of the things that I did when I was a friar is I worked in a soup kitchen in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And we had a ton of people. I mean, we would cook a meal and they would be lining up outside. It was a huge impact for the community because we were able to provide something to them that they didn't have the financial means to get themselves. So it was huge. It had a huge impact on the community in that area. And it was a blessing to be in that situation. But one day, there were about 5 of us there, and there was a family that always came in, and it was a little brother and a little brother and a sister, older sister, and their mom. And he would always just grab on the cord on our habits because we wore brown habits. So you've seen Franciscans where they have the brown robes and they have the long white cord, and would walk around and the cord would fly around when we're moving fast or quickly down the wherever. And he would grab onto it and kind of pull you back and just kind of giggle. And he was great. He was like maybe 7, 8 years old. And he came in one day and he was so flippin' excited. I mean, I had never seen this kid so happy ever since we were at the soup kitchen. Never seen him this happy before. He was so happy. And so he was agitating us and we were, giving him a hard time, and it was all fun and in jest. And I said to him, I said, "Why are you so happy today, buddy?" And he said, "Because I have a new bedroom." And I was like, "Oh, that's awesome." Right? I mean, he was like so excited. And I said, "Wow, well, tell me about your bedroom." He said, "I'm going to show you." And I was like,
Show you?
"Yeah, right?" And I was like, "Okay." And he goes, "Mom, is it okay?" And she said, "Sure." I said, "Well, buddy, I can't go by myself. I have to go with somebody else." I said, "So let me grab one of the other brothers and we'll go." So they lived right above the soup kitchen. I mean, it was like maybe 15, maybe a little bit, maybe like 50 yards from the soup kitchen. And so we start walking and we go up this little hill and, go around some trees or whatever. And we get to their cardboard house. Yeah. And somebody left them a refrigerator box. And the mom decided to make the refrigerator box his bedroom.
You
And
make me
he
cry.
was, oh my God, it still brings tears to my eyes. He was so, so happy about this refrigerated box that he had a new bedroom. Now, 7 years old, he obviously doesn't have to worry about where, you know, a lot of things that adults would have to worry about as it relates to money. But here's what he did feel like. He was happy. He felt overjoyed. He felt the need to not only tell me that he was happy, but the need to show me why he was happy. Right?
Yeah.
So I don't care if you have 500 million, 20 million, 5 million, 100,000. You're not going to take that little boy's happiness away, and he had nothing. So that just right there proves the point that it doesn't matter. The amount of money you have does not matter to your happiness. And the mother was the sweetest woman that she could be. And, I'm sure she cried at night, and she told us that she did. And, she would go outside of their cardboard house and, she'd take a walk away from the house and she'd cry, and so she had her own worries. But, the kids loved her, and the kids would hold on to her. And, they were the most loving family, and he was happy. So, you know what? I don't know. I mean, yeah, I think money helps, but I think money only helps to a point. And then I think the happiness depends on our own choices that we make to choose to be happy, choose to be emotionally fit, right? Choose to be emotionally aware. We have to make those decisions daily, and that doesn't come with money.
No, it doesn't. But this does go back to when you think about this comment, is that when we hate like that, when we are so negative, and it's sometimes hard not to be when you are so diametrically opposed, it's not good for you. I
Yep.
have had people and politicians, just people who are activists or whatever the position is, that I am so against. And when I feel so negatively towards them, it's negative for me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like this man's to say that to write that in that tweet or post or whatever, because actually the post was a copy of a tweet. And I'm not doing myself any good. But when you can find something like empathy for someone else's depression or sadness, when you can have that for somebody that you don't agree with, this is good for you. Because all that hate is not good.
Oh, no, agree.
Though I'm just talking about taking apart the pieces and not hating in entirety, because every single person, there's rarely something that is 100% evil about them. Even the worst characters. I've talked about this before. The serial killer, Ted Bundy.
Yeah, Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy murdered over 100 women. He's suspected of over 100 women. And yet he worked for a suicide hotline and actually helped a bunch of people. So, well, you don't have to like Ted Bundy, right? Like, you don't have to like what he did or what he stood for. You do have to appreciate the fact that he did help people too. And you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. So what I'm trying to say is that there's some good. And even if that just reduces your hate, that's good for you.
Yeah, that's totally true. And one of the things that I always think of is my emotional well-being and how that's experienced in the world. it's really difficult because for the most part, I would say 98% of the time, I am a very positive and lighthearted person, right? I mean, I just am. That's just that's just who I am. But it's really hard to, and I think might be where Michelle Obama had her difficulty or is having difficulty. It's hard to be a very positive, upbeat person all the time when there's so much going on around you that it's forcing people not to accept your happiness, right? Because the only thing I can do is be happy internally and then hope that that is infectious enough to make other people around me happy. And maybe, and I'm just using happy just as, as the word, but, that I have a positivity about me that helps other people, live positively. And it's hard to be that person when people around you don't want to accept it because they would rather, like the guy in the article did, they would rather hit you hard in order for them to go high because they know that people are going to agree with him, right? And it's that us them mentality that just needs to go away. And we have to move forward on a unified front. Unified front, right? Because we're all human. So yeah, we have differences, but at the end of the day, when you take all that away, we're just humans that are all the same. And as long as we continue to apply the us them mentality, we're never gonna move forward in a way where it's accepting of each other.
Trying to be positive all the time could be exhausting because you're trying to push down or deny feelings that you have. So there's nothing wrong with trying to be up. It's called emotional. There's a term for it, and I can't think of it right now. But it's when you are positive, when you don't want to be, but you have to be for other people. And then later on, you need to experience the emotions that you push down. It's the person who has to deal with the ugly client or the ugly customer, and you're in customer support. You have to put on that face. As long as you deal with the emotion, that's the biggest part.
One of the things that I'm hearing a lot now is I can't wait for everything to get back to normal. I can't wait for everything to get back to normal. And my response to them is what Michelle, I believe she was the one in the podcast. On a side note, guys, the podcast that we're referencing was the podcast that Michelle Obama did with the guest Michelle on August 5th on Spotify. So one of the things that she said is don't reach for normal. Reach for better. Because if we go back to what's normal, then we're going to go back to what we were prior to a time where we can take advantage of growth, like now. A lot of us have been spending a lot of time alone. A lot of us is spending a lot of time outside of work or spending multiple time with family. Use this time not to get back to normal, but to do better.
There you go. There you go. Well, that's all I have to say on this topic of associating well-being and riches.
Yeah, I think he totally missed the part. And I also think that he did it, just trying to pit someone against somebody else and using Michelle Obama's truth about how she's feeling right now to promote his agenda, whatever that is. And that's a shame that we do that. And we need to call people out for that. And I'm glad that you called him out for that, because part of being a democracy is that we hold our leaders and each other accountable. Yeah, Kim, thank you.
Thank you, John.
And thanks to our listeners for spending time with us every Saturday. I hope everyone has a great week.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, bye-bye. New shows are available every Saturday right here on heartmindify.podbean.com or wherever you listen. Kim and I would like to thank each and every one of you for allowing us to be a small part of your life. Be kind to yourself and remember, our hearts tell the story, but our mind is the conductor.